Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pursuing Excellence podcast. I'm your host, Jay Gay. Today on the podcast, I have with me Ed Curney. He's a two-time GSU alumni. He's a personal trainer as well. Also hosts his own podcast called the 1% Podcast. He does a lot of things, and we're blessed to have him on the podcast here today. But before we get started, please make sure you guys check us out here on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcasts. We got some great content for you. I know I haven't posted in a while, guys. Been busy lately, but I'm trying to start back here on Pursuing Excellence, providing great content for all you guys. Thank you for staying with us, watching us, subscribing, everything like that. So Ed, before we get started here, man, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience, man.
My name is Ed Curney, like you said. I'm from the west side of Atlanta. I'm just a man of God, man, who walk with his purpose. Very excited to be here, man. I thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast. Such an honor, bro.
Yep, definitely. So, Ed, talk about what's some of the stuff you got going on. So I heard you. So you did graduate from Georgia State, correct? All right. So, and I saw you played football there, right? Too, correct?
Yeah, I graduated a long time ago, man. 2019.
Okay.
Was senior year at Georgia State. I was a two-time captain there. One thing that I regret, though, that I don't think I ever said this before, I regret is not finishing my senior because I tore my knee up midway through the season. But I knew I was going to be all conference. I just wonder, was I going to be defensive player of the year and all that? So that's probably the only thing I regret from my senior year. But other than that, from Georgia, from Atlanta, born and raised here, man. Been here my whole life. Decided to go to college here also, stay home. A lot had to do with that. My granddad, before Lord rest his soul, before he passed away, he was like, man, I think you need to go to Georgia State. I had a lot of offers out of high school. I was a three-star kid, undersized though, but I worked my butt off. And with the grace of God, I was blessed enough to have many offers and scholarship opportunities. I graduated early.
Okay.
I graduated in 2.5 years in college, and then I was able to get my master's also for free.
That's great. That is awesome.
That's one thing I preached to my younger guys when I was in school, man. As long as you go to school, go to class every day, bust your butt, go to summer school, you can graduate early also and get your master's degree for free. But that was definitely a blessing. I love Georgia State from the bottom of my heart.
No, that's right, man. Go Panthers. But yeah, man, so in what I find interesting, man, Georgia State, our football program is actually coming up, dude. We're really getting, we're getting better each and every year, and like how you mentioned, it's just that hard work, man, and like maybe not everybody knows me coming out of high school, but it's just the hard work pays off in the end. I've always been told that my whole life, going to, where I went to school at. So high school at, so hard work was a mantra there. And it's just busting your butt every day, outworking everybody else, doing the best, being the best person that you possibly can be. And that's just really the mindset we all need to have in life, man. Honestly, with everything going on right now, and it's just it's just having that mental toughness, and the will to get up and fight every day for what you want and what you want to achieve, So speak on that, man. Like, how important is that? Do you feel like mental toughness in life and just always having that will to fight, man, no matter what, persevere through the tough times, and staying close to God. Just talk about how important that is to you.
For me, I feel like my upbringing had a lot to do with me learning how to persevere, because all I had to constantly do. When you grow up in the struggle, you grow up in an environment where you see nothing but destruction and things you don't want to become. You develop a certain type of drive and determination to get out of it. And at a young age, my father was an amazing man. I'm talking about freaking phenomenal guy. I wouldn't be nothing in this world without my father. Alongside my mother, they was amazing parents to me. But my dad, man, he just pushed me. He instilled in me. He poured into me so many values and lessons and how to overcome those things when you want to quit, when you in pain, when you hurting, when you feel like giving up.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it my whole life, and and he instilled it in me. And I feel like that's a lot of what's going on with the world today. I talk about this all the time. How you were 19 years old, 20 years old, man, and you trying to find your purpose in life.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of people in life don't know their purpose, and that's a lot of issues with our young society today. We go to high school and we don't like. I worked in a high school this year, and I used to ask the kids all the time, like, "What's your purpose?" And nobody ever could give me an answer. I'm talking about 100, 200, 300 kids.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody. And I understand why, because I couldn't get my purpose until I was like 23, 22, 23. So, but having someone pouring into them, asking them that question as early as 17, 18, when they never heard that question before ever in their life. I was asked that question as young, 5, 6 years old. What's your purpose, son? What's gonna be your purpose? What's gonna be your purpose? So I feel like a lot of society now, they're quitting, they're committing suicide, we're doing drugs, we're have obsessions, we're just falling apart internally because we don't understand the reason of why we wake up every day, the blessing it is that God poured in us for us to wake up every day to do what He called us to do every day. A
Yeah.
lot of us are living the life we weren't created to live. That's why we're not happy. That's why we're bitter. That's
Yeah.
why that's why we're going through all this depression and our mentality, our mindset is so weak because we do things that we're not created to do. And the day we wake up as a society and we listen to these different podcasts and know, hey man, I'm not living the life I was created to live. That's why I'm not happy. And once we understand that, I feel like that's the core fix it all.
Oh yeah.
Understand the reason for waking up every day.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I like how you touched on your upbringing, how that your dad pushed you, your parents push you just to the brink, man. It's because when you notice and experience certain things, that sticks with you, and that creates kind of a mechanism inside you to where it's like, okay, you just know, like, no matter what's thrown at me, I'm just gonna keep fighting and keep going, no matter what.
Exactly.
And it's something that we're lacking today as a world right now. As a society, we're lacking it right now. It's social media has got a big part to do with it.
For sure.
And I feel like social media is can be good. It's good, but it's also it's bad at the same time.
The
And
blessing.
right, and you have to know how to maintain it and manage it. That's the thing, big issue that we're having right now as a society. We're letting social media dictate who we should be, and that's not what we should be doing. The Bible says, be yourself. Be yourself. Be the man
Yeah.
or woman that God created you to be, right? And with social media, we always get tempted, like, oh man, they got this and she's got that, or he looks like this or she looks like that. We just want to model ourselves after other people, or just trying to get the satisfaction or the clout from the world. And that's not the main. That should not be the main objective right now.
See, bro, my thing with that is I was also that same person.
Yeah.
Oh, I was that guy. When I was in school, man, I was the big man on campus. I was the captain of the team. I had my own house at 21, 2, 3 cars, sleeping with all the women, doing whatever. I had money in my pocket. And I just value myself based on my peers around my age. Like, they getting this type of money, they doing this type of thing, and I'm not there yet. I have this, you start taking the things that God blessed you with for granted. And the best thing God ever could have done for me personally, was take all that away from me. 2019 was the worst year of my life. I lost everything I had: my house, my car, my girl. I had my son off a one night stand, and the only thing I had left was football. And I ended up tearing my knee up my senior year. So, man, he stripped me from everything, but I needed that because I became so high, and I thought I didn't need God anymore. And
Right.
I always been a man to put God first. And the day I started putting God second, third, fourth, fifth in my life, He removed all those things. He said, "Boy, you're gonna kneel before me. You can remember the reason why you are who you are and who you became." So I understand the social media thing, 'cause I used to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're all
And
guilty of it. Yeah.
we all learn. We do it unconsciously. You just look, and sometimes, man, not sometimes, all the time, the biggest and most important person the most important thing you ever should do is go to your bathroom sometimes, man. Just look in the mirror and just look at you and understand who you are and love who you are, regardless of whatever you're going through, regardless of however much money you have, however, wherever situation you in. You always gotta love who you are, no matter what.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And it's a big thing with that, and it's really it's conformity, and that's another big issue. I talked about this on one of my other podcasts before here on Pursuing Excellence, but our world right now is really pushing conformity, conforming to the culture, what everybody's doing, just trying to be, you got to be a certain way to have a high status, or to be respected you got to look a certain way or talk a certain way or act a certain way, and that's just not cool. But everybody's just we're conforming to that culture. We're trying to succumb ourselves to that when we should be only sticking to ourselves and what God has created us to be, and just trying to be the best versions of ourselves that we possibly can be. And it's always just working at that, trying to improve every single day, just taking advantage of what God, like you said, the gifts that God's given us. We're all different. We all have our own unique talents. It's just a matter of how we use them. And do we use them to do the right things, or do we use them to do the wrong things? Right. And it's just a matter of making that decision, and God gives us free will. He gives us a choice to make, do you want to make that decision, go down this path or go down the other path, so it's up to us. And we just have to I feel like as a whole world right now, do a better job of supporting each other, and using all of our different abilities and talents to make, for the greater good of everyone around us.
I agree. I agree with you. I feel like the biggest thing for me, man, is love.
Yeah.
Because love don't require no money, no nothing. Love doesn't require anything, but it's a decision. That's a choice you can make. That's between you and you. I don't know you from anyone, bro. When you was like, hey man, it's nothing but love. Of course, I'm gonna support whatever you do, and that's just who I am. I'm just a loving person. I feel like if you show love to someone, regardless if they show it back to you, God gonna handle that.
Yeah.
No, because I have one person that I abide by. I have one person who I care about, who judges me, and that's God. As long as I'm showing love to everyone around me, as long as I understand, like you just said, man, being authentic, understand who you are. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Walk in the room with millionaires and billionaires, you can't fringe because you don't know who you are. I still had my head high. I still talk the same way I talk. I still walk the same way I walk because I know who I am. None of those things pertain to me. None of those things make me feel less of who I am. That's why I say the most important thing is looking in that mirror and loving you.
Absolutely, dude. You said it all, man. It's knowing your self-worth. You are worth a lot. Everybody is valuable. And I think that a lot of people right now are feeling, and this is what's contributing a lot to the mental, depression and things like that. Suicides and all these things we got going on right now. It's a lot of people are feeling that they're worthless, that they're because of what society has set the standard to be, and they feel like since they don't meet that standard, they don't meet that expectation, they feel like they're useless in life. They feel like they have no value, no place in the world, and that's a big problem, and it shouldn't be that way, and it's a big thing, man. Right now, all these guys, it's that music it plays a little bit of a role too, how it talks about certain things and this and that, and it sets the bar, that everybody should live like this, live a certain way, but the guy who wants to go, get into the books, just trying to gain more knowledge and power, trying to set himself at a different standard than everybody else, is considered strange or weird or out of place in society. But that's not right. Like I said, everybody's given unique talents, and we all should be recognized for that. Use them to the greater good for society. It's just knowing your self-worth. Taking back control of your mind and knowing you're not needing self-validation from anybody else. I mean, if you want to say, nobody told me to start this podcast, Ed. I started by myself. You feel me?
Hey, and salute to you, man. Hey, you hard for that. Like, I appreciate, man. I take my hat out to you for real. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask anybody what, if I should do this or that, it's just I went ahead and did it. Sometimes we have to do that. We don't need validation for anybody else because that can hold you back, and that's another big problem we have is just, again, with society and the culture, just trying to get the approval of
Or
other people. Go ahead.
our pa- our parents also.
Nope, that's true.
A lot of us won't do things because we're afraid of what our parents will say, what our parents will think. You know what I'm saying? Like you
Yeah.
can be missing on your blessing because, like one thing I learned, bro, the day you understand your life is not your life, that's the day you gonna understand who you really are. Your life is not yours; it's the Lord's. He's just using you. That's all He's doing. He's just using you as a vessel. And the day that we understand that our life is not ours, because for me, I had to understand it the hard way. I'm my whole life I'm going to the NFL to take care of my family. Period. Nothing else. No plan B, C, D, none. A is football, NFL.
All right. Yeah.
And my senior year we beat Tennessee that year. I was defensive player of the game, and after the game, I had a lot of agents and teams and NFL teams of that nature reach out to me. So I knew my dreams were right there in front of me. And before that game, bro, on the way to the game on the bus, I'm on my bus, headed to the stadium. I'm crying like a baby. I'm talking about pouring out tears. I'm listening to the song from Moana, just crying. My teammate looking at me like, bro, what's wrong? What's
Right.
wrong with you? But in my mind, like my son was there, my mom was there, my dad was there, my sisters were there, my nieces and nephew were there. And I understood this one game was the biggest game of my life. Like all the whoopings, all the heels, and all the push-ups, and all the hard work, and all
Yeah.
the heartache, and the lights off, and sleeping on the bed with roaches, rats, all shootings, and overcoming the issues with my family, fiends, crackheads, drug addiction, all those things I had overcame for this one moment. And I understood I had to show up today. And that's why I was crying. That's why I was crying on the bus. But
Yeah.
I think I was able to come out on top. That was a very special day for me and Georgia State as a program for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. And the big thing with that is, we all, like I mentioned before, we all are important, and it's just a matter of realizing that, and when you truly understand how important you are and how valuable you are to the world, and just using the gifts and abilities that God has given you for the betterment of our world, and that's the day I feel like, we achieve greatness. It's just striving to be that. Of course, like I said, the name of my podcast is Pursuing Excellence. Are we trying to pursue that? Are we trying to go after being that high standard in life? Just the work ethic, the will, the wanting to get better, in life. It's just getting one step faster every day. Are you doing that? Are you trying to improve in every facet of your life every single day? We all working on it. We all have our struggles, but it's just a matter of, trying to just continue to improve with that. And that's a big thing for me. It's just trying to improve. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but we have to keep moving and keep, understanding that God will always forgive, and that you have to continue to strive to be after him, strive after him, strive to be excellent, strive to be like Christ, and it's a matter of doing that. And once you do that, you truly understand that we all have a purpose in life. And you mentioned earlier, that's a hard question when somebody asks you, what is your purpose? None of us can really, I can't answer that right now, and I probably won't know that answer for a while now, but right now I do know that have to continue to work to be the best version of myself that I could possibly be every single day, no matter what. Ignoring the outside noise, just getting in the lab and going to work. That's a big thing.
For me, man, man, when you speaking, man, what came to me for real is knowing your role,
Knowing your role. That's right.
is life that we live. Whether it's being the best janitor in the world, being the best musician in the world, being the best guy with the most amazing podcast. And we gotta understand just because you don't reach certain Elon Musk, LeBron James, Bill Gates, just because you don't reach those levels doesn't mean you're not elite in your own form and fashion. I think that's what a lot of our problem is, man. We don't understand our role in the world. We understand our role in the teams we play on, the jobs we have, the schools. We don't understand our role in the world.
Yeah.
It's okay to be okay with who you are and what you're doing, because what you're doing is big, bro. It's big. It's not big because I'm telling you it's big. It's big because God's saying it's big.
Yeah, and it's in like I like what you mentioned there, knowing your role, understanding what your place is in society. Is understanding what your job is, how you are supposed to move about. How are you contributing to the world? That's a big thing. We all in reading God's word, we'll learn that he's writing in his word that we have to continue to work at that, just continuing to get better every day, and that's the only way. It's progress. You have to work through it. It's progress. These things don't happen overnight. You don't truly until you won't truly reach your full potential until you get through that journey there, and it's patience is a big thing that we lack as humans, especially as men. You can testify to that. We all struggle with patience. It's a bit, if we have patience, it'll things will work out in the end. You have to trust the process. I believe in that. Things don't happen overnight. You're not going to get that dream job right away. You're not going to maybe, you can't get to the NFL in one day, right? It takes work. It's a whole, journey that you have to go through. And the destination in the end is right there. But if you want to get there, you got to put in the work. You have to put in the time, the want, the will, and that's the big thing that I feel like as society are struggling with, and and until we obtain that want and will to get better and improve ourselves, it's something that we're going to always struggle with.
And I tell people all the time, man, the biggest thing is enjoying the journey. We
Yeah.
always want to,
Rush.
say
Yeah.
celebrate when I get there. I'm gonna celebrate when I have this, or when I become this age, I want to have this. The day, man, you want to just enjoy every single day, every single hour of the journey. Man, that's when things gonna be real special for you. You just enjoy it, because you never know the last day, the last moment, you know, when it could be over. So just enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. That's what's gonna make you special.
Yeah. Yeah. Patience is a virtue, and we have to trust in God's plan. We get antsy, all the time because we want things right away. That's just it's human nature. That's how we are. We want things right away. We want that new iPhone right away, or we want just this new job right away. But it's just the patience, and the plan that God has put in place that we have to trust. I mean, it also goes back to what I was saying earlier with the outside world, the outside noise. Like you just have to trust in the plan that God has for you, and you'll reach to where you're supposed to be.
For sure.
You will reach to where the spot that where you will be in your life, the place, the purpose that you're trying to find out what it is. You're gonna get there if you just trust in God's plan. Not trying to race with other people and compare. Like, oh man, he's got this. Well, you know what? I gotta get this now, or I gotta get this car. He got this Lamborghini. I'm gonna get a Lamborghini. Like no, man. Why are we comparing? Why are we doing that? There's no need to do that.
Why not salute them? Clap for him. Tell him how much you proud of him. Tell her how much you proud of her.
Right.
Man, you inspire me. I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why you can't tell me that? You know what I'm saying? That's sometimes what we need. That's what I tell you about love, showing love.
Love.
You got,
Love.
got
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
podcast is big.
It is. Yeah. And not being jealousy and
Yeah,
it's a big thing. It's very evil. And it's just a matter of, again, just being showing kindness to others and appreciating what they're doing, and trying to better yourself, and like, just all contributing to one big cause. And so if we all use our unique talents and abilities for the greater good, for the overall
that's your excellence.
for overall best of society, then Yeah, like you said, that's the exit. You know, we're at a good place in life, but when we get into our selfish ways and get greed, and we just want to use things for our own benefit, and not trying to help others, is that's where we all stray apart. So that's the big thing. I feel it's just knowing your self worth in society, guys. Everybody out there watching, don't listen to what everybody, whatever people say about you, or no matter what. Just do you, be yourself. And good things will come of that. Continue to trust in the Lord.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this. Growing up my whole life, people used to always say, "Man, Ed, don't forget about me when you make it. Like whenever you do, don't forget about me. Make sure you come back and look out for me." And man, growing up, I had so many people talk about me, doubt me. Man, I'm a black boy from the west side of Atlanta. Man, my statistics that I overcame, I'm talking about, man, so amazing. I'm not supposed to be here.
Right.
I don't overcame so much. I don't dodge deaths so many times. Man, my life has been nothing but a struggle. And for me to be where I'm at in my life right now, it's because of all those things you just named, bro. Everything you just named. The will to want and the will to excellence, man. God's grace, his mercy. And I never listen to nobody. People think I'm crazy from the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I do it, whatever I want to do, because it's unorthodox, you know. But that's what it's all about. Being true to yourself, being true to you. Don't let nobody deny you, tell you what you can't do, telling you your podcast ain't gonna be this, it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be whatever you think it's gonna be. It's gonna be whatever you believe it's gonna be. As long as you put that work in and trust God, it has no choice but to
Sky's
flourish.
the limit.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
The sky's the limit, man. We already know, you know, and just every day is an opportunity. I always tell myself that every day. Every day is an opportunity. How will I be better today than I was yesterday? Am I getting one step faster every single day? And that's the question we have to ask ourselves. So that's just one of the things I want to talk about here on the podcast today, man. I appreciate your input and everything, Ed, and appreciate you coming on and talking with us today on Pursuing Excellence. You guys make sure you check out Ed's podcast, the 1% podcast. Y'all check him out. Great content there. Ed, thank you again for coming on, man.
I appreciate you, bro, man. It was nothing but a blessing. Man, you make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, ace_2 love.
Yes, sir. Yeah, y'all check him out. He's got great stuff. And you guys also check us out here on YouTube. If you're subscribed, check us out here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your favorite podcast. Thank you guys again for watching Pursuing Excellence. I'm your host, Jane Gay, signing off.